Alright, Assalamualaikum and very good evening to my fellow classmates and of course to our beloved Miss Aina. So, have you ever heard about aphasia? If no, then today me and my group mate will be presenting about two types or two main aphasia, which is Broca'S aphasia and Wernicke'S aphasia. First, let us jump into the Broca'S aphasia. In Broca'S aphasia, or the other name is expressive aphasia, it is a non-fluent aphasia. This is where people are struggling to convey words or to convey a very short sentences. And those who suffer Broca'S aphasia usually have difficulty in producing a long speech with difficult comprehension or difficult grammar. And the Broca'S aphasia is usually caused by brain damage or neurological disorder. Alright, let us jump into the Wernicke'S aphasia. Wernicke'S aphasia, or the other name is receptive aphasia, is affluent aphasia. This is mean when the speaker can speak well in the language and can convey a sentence, but the sentence they convey usually meaningless or doesn't make any sense. This happens due to the person having difficulty in understanding spoken and written language, with speech production remain somehow fluent, which means they can convey the words fluently, but the words usually doesn't make any sense. Just like Broca'S, those who suffer this aphasia, it usually causes by brain damage due to accidents or any other factors, and of course due to neurological disorder. Alright, next let's just jump into the symptom and signs of each aphasia. First, for Broca'S, for speech production, those who suffer this aphasia usually have halting or effortful speech. They also have telegraphic speech, and lastly they have agrammatism. Agrammatism here means they can't grasp difficult grammar or syntax. As for comprehension, they are relatively preserved. They usually face challenge with complex or difficult sentences. As for next is they also face difficulty in repetition. They usually face difficulty in repetition. And for writing, just like speech, they have very limited vocabulary, so it's also affect their writing. They can't convey or write long sentences, just like they can't convey in long speeches. And as for awareness, those who suffer Broca'S usually aware that they are suffering this aphasia, and this usually can lead to frustration between those who suffer Broca'S aphasia. Alright, next is Wernicke'S aphasia. Those who suffer this aphasia usually are fluent in the language they talk, but they can't talk meaningfully, which means they talk nonsense when they try to deliver a speech. They also have paraphasia and also have neologism. Neologism here means they can't handle new words. For example, if you say new words like "have you googled it?" they will be very jammed, because Google, which means search on the internet, but it also said but due to it's still the new words, those who suffer this aphasia usually having difficulties in conveying the meanings of the sentences. As for comprehension, they usually impaired in understanding the sentence. They find it hard to understand, even though it's very simple sentences. Next is writing of the Wernicke'S aphasia. For writing, just like when conveying speeches, they can write in proper grammar, but they usually write in nonsense or meaningless sentences. For example, if the question asks, "Have you eaten?" they usually will they usually will answer with meaningless or nonsense answer like, oh, eating is my favorite TV show, just like that. And for those who suffer this aphasia, they usually have less awareness to their aphasia compared to those who suffers Broca'S aphasia. Alright, next one is comparison between these two aphasia. Alright, for Broca'S aphasia, those who suffers this aphasia usually non-fluent and need to be effortful in conveying speeches. While for Wernicke'S, they are fluent in the language and have correct grammar, but they usually convey it nonsense sentence that doesn't make any sense. And for comprehension, Broca'S they usually have difficulties with difficult sentences, while for Wernicke'S, they usually doesn't even understand the question or the sentence very well. And as for awareness, Broca'S is highly aware. Those who suffer Broca'S are highly aware of their aphasia, while for Wernicke'S, they usually unaware of things they have suffered. And I think that's all from me. Thank you for watching. Peace, y'all. See y'all.